A lot of times we, like to just kind of think about where we are today. And I think one of my favorite songs, and literally probably the only song I can remember from Jennifer Lopez. Anybody knows what it is? She says what? Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still what? I used to have a little. Now I have a lot, but no matter where I go, I still know where I come from, right? All money does is gives you a little bit more freedom. Money gives you choices. Money allows you to go to nice restaurants. Money allows you to go travel the world. Money allows you to help out family members when they need it. Money allows you to choose, not through force, through choice, to give back to nonprofit organizations, to choose, not by force, like tax, to choose to give back to the community for people that are willing to put years of their service to help out some kind of an organization. Money gives you a lot of freedom. And we know how America is doing today right now with financially. I mean, we don't need to go into whole talking about finances, but I want to take you back a little bit on how this thing got started. And if I could tell you one thing, this story never gets old to me. I remember March of 2009. 2008 for me was a very weird year because I was at a point I'm making money, I'm excited, things are going great. And, I'm traveling the world. I have, a few $100,000 in savings. This business has allowed me to pay off my $49,000 of debt. It's allowed me to go out there and speak in front of a few 100,000 people. It's allowed me to do a lot of great things. It's allowed me to hear the magical words from my father who's somewhere. Where's my dad? He's probably chasing Tico. Look, everyone's got a story. And what I'm excited about is when I go to your big events and you get to tell these stories in front of your teammates because everyone's got a story. I love stories. When I'm in the back and I'm hearing the Austin Powers guy tell his story. When I'm in the back and I'm hearing one of the AV guys tell me his story, how he's from Orlando, Florida. He used to be at, Miami, and he was a guy who, his father was in the Air Force. His grandfather was in the Air Force. He decided to get outside of the Air Force. I love stories. Everyone's got a story. Everybody's got a story. You're sitting here listening to this. You got your own story. This company's got its own story. See, when we started, and I asked one of my friends, Bill Vogel, who's sitting somewhere here, Bill right there, if you can put your hands up, Bill right there. Bill and I spoke. If you hadn't had a chance to get to know Bill, I think you should. When Bill and I spoke, and I said, Bill, some's in my heart, I want to do something. Bill told me, Pat, I want you to have dinner with Pat Boone and George Will. I did. I went out there and I listened to Pat Boone and George Will. We had dinner together. I was the youngest guest that night in March of 2009, and I heard these guys speak, and I don't care which way you lean politically, left, right, middle. To me, I lean common sense is where I lean. I lean towards math. 2 + 2 is 4. I don't care if you get up and cry and make me get into tears by telling a great story, telling me 2 + 2 is 3, 2 + 2 is 4. I'm sorry. You get up here and sell me and bring the best motivational speaker to motivate me to tell me 2 + 2 is 7. It's not. It's 4. I'm a math person. Give me an argument backed up by math. It's a fact. I'll listen to you. When we had David Romer, who was one of our treasury people sitting on the board for our president asked her to go out there and do a report to find out at what percentage, when the taxes go above this percentage, do people get upset and lose motivation to make money. She went and wrote a 798-page report. She's a professor at UC Berkeley. She's a liberal, wrote a 798-page report. At what percentage do the American people lose the motivation to go out there and work? What percentage? When you lose the motivation to create, when you lose the motivation to work your tail off. After months of doing her own study with her husband, she came back and she said 34%. Above 34%, motivation goes away. California right now is 57.5%. If you make 50 grand in California, you're going to pay your 40 points plus 9.3%. It's nearly 50%. If you make above a couple hundred, you're looking at 57.5 and more. France tried this method. They went to 75% if you make $1 million and up. You know who left? The former president left France because it doesn't work. You know who makes America work? Let me tell you who makes America work. No matter how many ways we do it, this is just what works. Entrepreneurs. For many years, America, listen, before we get into it, I want to say this to you. I want you to understand how important our role is. I think the two people who are patriots in America are our patriots who put their life on the line, but I think the second patriots are entrepreneurs who put their salary on the line. You may not put your life on the line, but let me tell you something. You put your salary on the line. Who knows what I'm talking about when I say you put your salary on the line? Any entrepreneur know what I'm referencing when I say put your salary on the line. Let me allude to what I mean by that. You see, when you have a job and you're making your 3, 4, 5 grand every month consistently, it's security. You feel it's security. It's warm. It's comfortable. You know, you get to have your barbecue once a month. You get to have a decent life. You got some nice benefits. You know, and somebody introduces you to an opportunity and you start working and one of your leaders says, you got to go full time. And you're like, I don't know if I want to go full time. Man, you should go full time if you want to have your dreams. I don't know if I want to go full time. And most don't. 80% don't. They go back to protecting their salary. 20% say, man, this is scary. They have a conversation with their wife and their family and their husband. And they say, baby, I'm going to make this decision. Babe, this is scary. I know, baby. And they go to sleep. And you know what happens to an entrepreneur when he goes to sleep? He has a lot of anxiety attacks. He has worries. She stresses out. They think about their bills. They see savings deplete. They see all of a sudden things happen. But do you know why they do it? They do because they have a dream. Because they don't want to live an average and ordinary life. And neither do you. If you're here tonight, you don't. You have a choice to go out there and play poker right now if you wanted to. You have a choice to go out there and play blackjack if you wanted to today. But you're here today. You don't have to be here today. You're not unemployed like Bridgestone to be here today. You chose to be here today. It is your choice to be here today. You chose. Whether you get up and walk out right now, we cannot fire you. You have chosen to be in this room today because we prefer choice over force. Is what we as human beings prefer is choice. I want to choose because I want what I want to do. And I think sometimes what many of us don't understand is many programs sound great. We can come out with a lot of great programs. We should do this, we should do that, we should do this. I get it. It sounds great. Listen, it's like a family saying, babe, I think we should own 2 cars. I get it. Babe, I think we should own a house in a gated community. I get it. Babe, I think we should own the safest, shotguns, guns. We should have a garage. We should have, the best clothes. We should have this. I get it. I think we should have the best security system. I get it. But what can we afford? I have 2 kids running around right now. Many guys got kids. You know what these 2 kids going to say in 40 years from now? Dad, why were you so afraid? Why didn't you care about me? I'm paying 72% in taxes right now. It's 2039. Why did you vote for that program just to benefit you and mess me up, Dad? Why'd you do that, Dad? And I'm going to have to look at him in the eyes and make up some kind of an excuse. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't. The only thing I can do is, son, let me tell you something. 2 of the most honorable jobs any human being could take is being in the military and being an entrepreneur. Because both of them have a lot of risk. If you're in the military, you could get killed. If you're an entrepreneur, you could get killed. You don't do it for the small little thing. Both of them have the same outcome. You know what the outcome is, both of them? Starts with the letter F. What is it? Freedom. So when I went that night with Bill Vogel and I had dinner with George Will and Pat Boone and they got up and they spoke, when I tell you I felt like something just jolted, like something, I felt like something happened to my body. I remember vividly, the car came, picked me up. Bill sat in my car, we drove. I couldn't sleep that night. I came to the BOM, I gave a 19-minute talk I've recorded till today. When I listened to myself, I could tell that Patrick has no clue what the heck he's talking about, but I could tell something got into his heart. And it made him study history. It made him figure out what the real system works, what does not work. Why do 41 million immigrants come here? And number 2 country is 11 million, Russia. Why do people come here? Why are we all not white in this room? Why are we Middle Eastern? Why are we Jewish from Israel? Why are we Mexican? Why are we Cuban, Puerto Rican, Peruvian? Why are we Salvadorian, Guatemalan, Nicaraguan, Filipino? Why are we? Why? Because we want to be free, man. You can't do this in Iran. You can't have freedom of assembly. I can't get up and give you a speech like this. I'll get killed if I say something like this in Iran. I can't get up and say I'm a Christian, I'm an atheist, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Scientologist. I believe in this, I believe in that. I'm Seventh-day Adventist, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, I'm a Mormon. I can't do that in Iran. I cannot say it publicly. I'm better off saying I am a Muslim to not get killed and not have my kids get killed. Can you imagine you are forced to go around saying you're a specific religion regardless of what it is, Christian, Muslim, and you don't believe in it, but you have to say it so your kids won't get killed and your kids have to watch your life the rest of your life and they emulate you and they do. Do you want to live in a country like that? You're here. And one of the things I think collectively, guys, we're going to build a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. We are. I've seen the video in my mind. I've seen the movie. But I see the movie of what's going to happen with this company. I see it. Yeah, Pat, you're crazy. Your vision, this. I see it. I already see what's going to happen. Because I firmly believe if your crusade is real, it's genuine, it's got a bigger purpose, a higher law protects it and makes it happen. That's what we got going on here tonight. Listen, let me explain to you. For some of you that are guests here, just checking it out, or I just came here because I did this, or I just came here because I'm his father, I'm his mother, I'm his cousin, I'm just here to check it out because he told me I got to check it if this is valid. I'm sorry, sir or ma'am, it's not like there's 7 people here in this room. There's nearly 1,500 people in this room. If we don't know what we're talking about, we would not have nearly 1,500 people here who are educated with degrees who are smart enough to say no and be able to know if something works or not. And we're all adults. We're not 17-year-old kids who are persuaded by some kind of a movement to come here. Joe just called, we're going to go around calling around singing Kumbaya or whatever. No, it's a real business. So if you're here watching this, and if you're here really thinking to yourself, I wasn't anticipating something like this. I don't know how many companies are talking about and thinking about what we're thinking about right now. I don't know. I think most companies are talking about hitting profits. I think most companies are talking about gross revenues today. I think most companies are talking about whether they hit your numbers or not. I think most companies are talking about the smaller stuff. And what they don't realize is they're going to live 80 years and they'll die. And no one will remember them but a few people. And within 2 generations, they're forgotten, and history will not favor them. I don't see a purpose in that. I really don't think the Creator gave you all those unique gifts that you got, just to go out there and be a regular person. I don't. And I don't think you do either. I think when you're alone by yourself and you're kind of talking to yourself in a car or in front of a mirror and you think you really are special, guess what? You really are special. But you only believe that for a split second, and you go back to feeling like you're not special. So we got to get you to feel like you're special more often, and you are responsible for that, not us all the time. I hope tonight you feel the sincerity from our leaders when we come up here.